Alright guys, so we got Death on the Nile. Is this worth going in IMAX? Honestly guys, that really depends on probably you. If you like us more of a slow, methodical murder mystery movie, this movie also has beautiful vistas like the Nile and the boat and the scenery, amazing costumes, and overall feel and look of the movie. Some of the cool sound effects are cool if you go see it in IMAX, like the shooting or like big loud explosions, but those are very few far between. Trust me, this is a mostly slow-paced film. Other than that, majority of the people that go watch this film, regular is probably fine, or maybe wait for streaming. Okay, so what is Death on the Nile? Death on the Nile is a continuation sequel from 2017's Murder on the Orient Express. That movie came out in 2017. It was directed by Kenneth Branagh. Kenneth Branagh also appears in this film. He's also the director as well. And just like the first one, well, not like just the first one, this also has an all-star group of characters and all-star cast. Now, a lot of people are gonna digress and be like, oh, this doesn't have the good likes like Willem Dafoe, Daisy Ridley, Tom Bateman, Johnny Depp, Judi Dench, Penelope Cruz, and Josh Gad. However, this movie does still have amazing characters such Gal Gadot, Letitia Wright, Russell Brand, and Jodie Comer is actually in this film as well. Yes, I get it. There's gonna be a lot of accusations, but to be honest with you guys, I'm not gonna talk about that. Now, Death on the Nile, what I just explained to you guys before, it is a murdery slash mystery film, like a whodunit type film. Have you guys ever played the game Clue, or maybe even the Hitman trilogy video games? You know, like the slow, methodical, like learning the details, like was it this person? Or if you like Knives Out, which even though Knives Out had like the perfect casting of characters, an all-star cast, I felt like this movie was a little step down in terms of cast, but hey, still a good murder movie. So if you like those films, you'll definitely like this. This is actually the first time movie where the less I talk about key moments, the better. Because it's when you go into this blind, not even watching the trailers, just like me, you get to follow along. And that's what I want you guys to like understand. Like the movie starts with a backstory of the detective, of him in war, and how he ultimately got to the person that he was in this like detective state. Now, the more I talk about what's going on in the past, will give you a little bit hints and clues and ideas if you go watch this murder mystery film. So I'm not even gonna talk about that. I'm really gonna be vague with this review. However, the backstory leads up to the exposition of the narrative of the movie going forward. So movie's open up with its backstory. That after that out of the way, the movie really takes a slow ramp up to the Nile, which is the boat. All throughout the film, in the beginning, I was just like, we need to go to the Nile, we need to go to the boat. I want to get back to like the murder mystery. Like I want to start solving who did it, who done it. It's like, however, the movie is really slow paced in the beginning because it gives us a lot of exposition and a lot of narrative focus on these characters before we actually see them on the boat, which is when the movie really starts ramping up. It does take a while for it to get going, but when it does get going, it's pretty really cool because one thing I feel like this movie did right that Murder on the Orient Express kind of like fault on, this movie was a better told story in terms of like the reasoning, the details, because I felt like I watched the Murder on the Orient Express on Friday before watching this film, and it felt like this film did something more better because every time he conducted the interviews, giving us the details and reasonings of maybe this person could have done it or could have not, this movie did a better job because every single time he's like, I need to talk to this, and this person. So I feel like that is a great opportunity that this movie took forward that the last movie probably didn't do so well on. Once they get to the boat, someone dies, and it's the detective's job to find out who. Now, I'm not gonna tell you who dies because that's like the point of the film. However, I'm gonna be honest, I love the aesthetics and the costumes and the scenery and the landscapes that every single one of these characters uses. If you've seen the movie posters on Instagram, because it shows their distinct personality that if they could have done it or not. One thing that I love from this movie that the first movie did not have, this movie has a case within a case. So once it gets revealed to you what is a case within a case, you're gonna be like, whoa, because to me it's like the first movie only had one case, and this one has a case within a case. So it's like, it's a cool little Easter egg. When they were on the boat, when they were giving the interviews, it's nice to see like every single thread unraveled between these characters and these interviews, because you can follow along with this type of movie. You can be like, oh, this person did it, this person not did it. And I had a big headache during the premiere of this movie, so I couldn't find out who, and I was kind of weird to finding out who did the killing of the mystery, but you can play along. Like if you watch this movie from start to finish, you can be like, yes, like I think this person did it, and you can actually write down. So it's very great. Plus the casting behind the talent of these characters, just like Gal Gadot, like yes, we've seen her in Wonder Woman. It gives us a good chance to see these other casts shine their complexity other than just like next shows. Other than that, guys, as much as I want to talk about it more, I kind of shouldn't and kind of can't, because if I do touch up anything else, I feel like I will give away who done it, you know, because once you start seeing the movie, you can kind of piece it together. I was 60% right because the first movie, I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the who done it. However, this movie, I cannot agree with it more. Like I love the ending of this movie. And usually for movies that have been coming out recently, I don't like the ending. However, I do want to say it's a good B cinema score. I just want to be wary of you guys. It is very slow paced. Like in the beginning, I just want to be honest with you guys. In the beginning, it takes a slow ramp up to the Nile, to the murder mystery. But once it gets there, it can't let your hooks off. If you like that type of movie, then great. There's not a lot of action. Yeah, there's some cool fun sequences, but those are very few far between. I'm telling you guys, this is a very more slow, dramatic, methodical, like burning sensation of a film. Yes, it takes a lot of exposition, a lot of backstory in the beginning, but that's fine because once you get to the Nile, it's all worth it. All right, guys, that's gonna be everything for me today. Hope you have a great day. day and let me know if you ever need it. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing so you stay up to date with the movie's newest information.